We are all adjusting to life under new restrictions aimed at stopping the spread of coronavirus. You can only leave your home to get essential shopping like food and medicine, for one form of exercise a day, if you have a medical need or to care for a vulnerable person, and to travel to and from work if it's absolutely necessary and you can't work from home.
Devastated. Obviously, we've got to do another year within this division when we were massively set on getting out of it. But again, it is what it is. We just got to knuckle down, keep our heads down, and deal with it, and go again. Yeah, delighted to be back. Let's just hope we can get back a little bit quicker than what's anticipated. You need something to aim for in any walk of life, and obviously, hopefully on the July the 14th, we'll know a little bit more in terms of what the FA are predicting to do.
I think it's brilliant that Plymouth have got another aspirational football team. You know, Plymouth Argyle are where they are, but the city's certainly big enough to have another big football team. And so, you know, really excited to see where I can help take this team and hopefully up through, because that's where, you know, we all want to go.
You'll take 4-1 any day they wake up in a game this season away from home. Tough place to come, so yeah, really good 3 points.
Why we're here, let's keep ticking them off, let's just get as many wins as we can and about until whatever happens will happen.
There's always going to be a buzz around this place, and obviously as long as we keep winning and picking up the 3 points and scoring goals, long may that continue.
I loved my time at Taunton, but everything comes to an end, do you know what I mean? So I'm ready now to kick on with Plymouth Parkway and get up the leagues. When you're beating teams 5 or 6-0, you would rather them turn up and have a proper game with you. And they've done that today. They've matched us, but we had a bit more than them.
And I think the whole team deserves man of the match for not just tonight, for the 13 games that they've remained unbeaten.
Unless we act, we could see deaths in this country running at several thousand a day, a peak of mortality, alas, bigger than the one we saw in April. Christmas is going to be different this year, perhaps very different, but it's my sincere hope and belief that by taking tough action now, we can allow families across the country to be together.
Lee, officially a Southern League team. How does that sound?
Really, really good. A lot of hard work's gone into it over the last 3 or 4 years. Obviously, initially when we came in, it was always our aim to get within those levels and maybe beyond the level that we are going into. But really, really pleased. It seems that all the hard work's come to fruition. A lot of blood, sweat and tears along the way. Performance levels are brilliant. Points accumulated spot on, games played. Like, you can't replicate having your last home game and knowing you've won the league and your supporters are there and the fireworks are going off and the champagne corks are being popped. But listen, I'm sure, or I'm hopeful, that there will be many more moments like that for this football club.
What does Parkway mean to you now?
Oh, Parkway's a massive part of my life, to be honest. Since leaving Truro, I've never looked back. I've always wanted to be, well, I've wanted to be here since, and I haven't wanted to leave, so it's a big part of my life.
With Plymouth adjusting to life after lockdown, Parkway would be preparing for life in the Southern League Division 1 South, with promotion granted via points per game after 2 incomplete Western League campaigns.
Firstly, it was great to go up. We worked very hard that season. Thought we played extremely well, to be fair. But obviously it took away the excitement of celebrating in front of people, and it kind of put a bit of a damper on it.
I think it was disappointing not to be able to all be together celebrating winning promotion. But obviously for what we needed to achieve as a football club, it was great for us to get the promotion we needed.
At least there was the relief we're out of it, but then it would have been nice to celebrate it because, you know, we won nearly every game we played in that league and we should have had a trophy at the end of it.
It was weird, we sort of obviously went into lockdown, stuff like that, so we was all just sitting around, you're reading things on Twitter, you're seeing this, you're seeing that, and then obviously it happened in the end, but we had no real celebration or anything like that, which is annoying because, like you say, we still worked hard for that, and we still earned the points at the end of the day, so yeah, it was a little bit bittersweet more than anything, I'd say.
Best points per game in England. I mean, that is, or in the top 3 or 4, and there's hundreds of teams. That's brilliant, really, absolutely brilliant.
It's another kind of bit of history for the club because how many other people have been promoted on points per game, so it's not traditional, but we'll take it.
With a longer off-season than normal, Southern Premier League side Truro City would approach the Plymouth club. A ground share agreement would mean Parkway could start on a regeneration project at their home, Bolitho Park.
We saw it as a way of achieving what we wanted to achieve in a shorter space of time. You know, I think it's gone, you know, okay, relatively well, but it was a case of, it was a bit of a no-brainer really, that they were in a position where they had nowhere to go. We were in a position where we could help them and also progress our ground. So yeah, it was the right thing to do at the time.
So you've got to make sure that, one, it's right for your football club, and then also making sure that the work that is done is going to be beneficial to us. And the long term, obviously we knew that we were going to have a minimum of 1 year, likely 2, that they would be, you know, with us. So we needed to make sure that, one, we could, you know, work on that and make sure that we got the work done, but also manage the, you know, the conversations that would happen around the fact that we were doing it and why we were doing it. But it was the right thing to do for the football club at that time.
With the project raising eyebrows, even more eyebrows would be raised in the wider footballing community, as Parkway manager Lee Hobbs would release experienced players Matt Wright, Levi Landricum and Steve Colwell as pre-season commenced.
That's football, unfortunately. All great lads, still speak to all of them now. Do you know what I mean? So, but that's obviously football, and that's if the manager's decision was to move them on and bring new in, then that's what he'd done, and that's what we had to just get behind. Like, so, but yeah, like I said, they're good lads on and off the pitch, so no hard feelings against that. But again, that's just football, unfortunately.
You know, Lee and I had conversations around things. I wouldn't say that we always agreed on everything, but you know, at the end of the day, the decisions were made, and those boys moved on to pastures new. We wish them well, and you know, we still keep in touch with all of them as well. So we've got, you know, good relationships with them. But that's football, and they will understand that. And you know, I've been on the receiving end of that as a player as well. So you know, that's just how the game operates.
It's a cruel job. It's not a nice job, but it's a job in football that has to be done, and as the manager of the football club, it's your job to do it. So again, I don't take any enjoyment from it. It's difficult player conversations, and ultimately down the line, when it's all blew over, I'd like to think that players just understand it's football. It's football. It happens in every dressing room. It happens at every football club, whatever level you're at. Like, no, it's not a nice thing to do, but again, difficult player conversations are part and parcel of the game, and it'll happen every season that we play.
With departures, a new batch of players would be brought in for the step up in levels. Jordan Kopp and Aaron Bentley would return to Bolitho, but it would be the names of the front men, Jack Crago and Tom Bath, that would grab the headlines.
I would say I joined Parkway because they're a club on the rise. They're a club looking to go places. It's more, I think they were, what's the word? Ambitious. They're ambitious. They're ambitious as a club, and they're on the way up. They're on the way up. You can tell that in every way.
Yeah, I was excited. I thought he was sort of the player we needed, something a bit more mobile, a bit, you know, more physical. I didn't really know too much technically about him, just knew, you know, he's a big lad. So yeah, I was looking forward to it, and I knew he could probably get goals at this level. So yeah, I thought he was a good addition.
I've never really liked Jack. He's always scored goals. So coming up through the leagues, we've always probably struggled against him. So everyone probably at first, everyone probably thought, is he going to be good enough? Can he make the step up and stuff? But again, that was down to him to prove to us and the fans that he could do it.
I'm at an age now where I am kicking on a bit, so I want to push myself as high as possibly I can go. So yeah, obviously Southern League football, I've always wanted to play that standard and even higher.
With pre-season training in full swing across the city, the Plymouth Parkway Supporters Club would have their first post-COVID lockdown meeting. The Supporters Club would be established by Stuart Cadmore, a founding member of Parkway way back in 1988.
Stuart used to be, at the beginning, he was probably everything. He was the secretary, the treasurer, he washed the kit, he did everything. So I've got a lot of respect for Stuart. Obviously, as we go on and the club gets bigger, we bring in other people take the jobs, and it's very difficult. You've got to understand, if it's been your life for a long time, and then all of a sudden other people start doing those jobs, it must be difficult to look in from the outside. But inside, he's a good person. He's Parkway through and through. He is. And if you want to know anything about football, ask Stuart. He's that type of guy.
I'm very, very proud that we have got a supporters club like that. I think one day, this was about 2015 when we started, and I was walking out the ground one day from a match, and somebody turned to me and said, "Oh, when are we home again?" And the "we" bit got me. He didn't say when are Parkway home again or when's the next match. When are we home again? And I thought that could be the start of something. So I spoke to a couple of the regulars who came, who I knew by sight but didn't really know them, and said, "I'm thinking about starting a supporters club. Would you be interested?" They said yes, and I got their emails or phone numbers, then rung them all up and said we're having a meeting, an inaugural meeting, and there was about 25 people there. And we all started, we all agreed to pay some money in, and that's where it started from, with about 25 people in 2015.
He will always ask the difficult questions, but I don't mind that. You know, I can deal with that. Yeah, I know that I'm learning all the time while I'm doing my job as chairman, and I know that if people aren't questioning me, then actually I'm either perfect, which I know I'm not, or people aren't asking the questions which they should be. So, you know, Stuart is a great person to have around the football club.
The supporters club have witnessed the ever-changing landscape at Bolitho Park over the years, and after 3 months of hard work, Parkway no longer had just a football pitch. They would have a venue that now matched the club's on-field ambitions.
It's a bit surreal, really. You don't ever think you're going to get a facility like this for a team you watch and support. So yeah, I think it's just a bit surreal, but an amazing facility now, and I love coming here, and you know, you can see that the hard work that goes into it. Yeah, it's just surreal is the main thing.
I think you could always tell that it was the type of club that was going to progress, but to actually see it happen, I think it's been really amazing to see.
It's just a sign of where the football club's gone, from where we were when I joined Peninsula League to now. It's been one hell of a journey, and probably one I didn't predict when I first joined. I didn't have any plans. I was just playing every game at a time when I first joined, and now it's become, you know, a real journey where I've been a part of, and yeah, we just haven't looked back.
It's like a proper football club now. I'm not saying it wasn't before, but it almost seems like it's making its way to the likes of the teams around us where we should be,
Well, I don't think there's any superlatives left that haven't been used, to be honest. I think it's fantastic. Irrespective of the politics with a small p in relation to ground sharing, what the club has achieved, or the people that run the club now have achieved, is absolutely fantastic. Fantastic.
Outstanding in the work that's gone on behind the scenes. Obviously, Truro's played a part in it as well, so that they need to be obviously mentioned within that. But yeah, look, to win games at a ground like this, it means quite a lot, and it's a big plus for us.
Parkway would open its gates to the regenerated Bolitho Park for the first time, as their professional league neighbours Plymouth Argyle would make the trip across the city to kick off both clubs' pre-season campaigns.
Shane, Plymouth Parkway captain, how proud of you today, especially Argyle, but what's gone on at Bolitho?
Yeah, superb, mate, superb. The club's come on, $1 million. Jez and Mark Russell, what they've done is commendable, because this club, I remember I was getting changed in porter cabins. We've gone from porter cabins, and listen, I won't tell you what was happening in those porter cabins, but it was a shithole. Understand? And now the club, you look around now, and it's superb, superb.
Is it just kind of the football takes second stage today?
Yeah, listen, it's a big day for the club. Listen, and people who's not been around the club for a long time, I've been here 5 years now, so I've seen it come on leaps and bounds. So for everyone off the pitch, yourself, Lizo, from Jenny to Jez to Mark to all the committee, to everyone, the supporter club, it's a massive day for them. And fair play to them, because listen, especially Mark Russell, and I've got to say it on camera, he's stuck his neck on the block and he's delivered everything he's fucking said. So fair play to him.
The Argyle game is what it is. It's for the club, and we can just use it as best we can, fitness, and just test ourselves at the highest level, really.
It was one of them that's a brilliant spectacle. It's so nice for the city to have Argyle come here on your doorstep, you know, come and watch them play against Parkway. And it's a good test. It is a good test. I mean, at the end of the day, they're professional footballers. They do it every day of their lives, and for us to experience that just shows the difference in class, is what I would say, where they are at as a team, and it's a good test, and it's always useful to play against them, absolutely.
A limited crowd of 1,000 due to COVID would not detract from the spectacle, but Parkway would encounter a rampant Argyle, who themselves were looking to hit the ground running after promotion to League One.
It was a difficult one, you know, they're a fantastic team, let's not take anything away from them, you know, they're up there for a reason. But no, it was a difficult day, but like it's all about the community that day and getting so many fans in the gate and, you know, enjoying some football.
That was a tough game, especially when they changed 11 players at half time. Yeah, that's the last thing any of us wanted, to be honest, but it was a good day out, a lot of people here, so you couldn't really ask for much more, apart from the result, really.
River Allen would find a consolation, but the day belonged to the Plymouth footballing community, who would enjoy the return of live football following the coronavirus pandemic. Parkway would leave Plymouth behind as they began a mini pre-season tour of the Southwest. They would head to Cornwall to face Western League side Mousehole on a perfect summer's day, but Parkway's performance would be far from perfect, as another heavy defeat would be inflicted and in-house fighting would begin to appear.
When you don't punch a ball clear, or when you don't save a shot, or when you shank a ball out of play, does any come for you, including me? Listen to me. Let me speak, and then you fucking answer me. I don't want to shout, right? I don't want to shout because the game means fuck all, right? Does anyone come after you properly? No, they fucking don't. So listen to me. I agree with letting someone know they've done wrong. When he's done it once or twice, I'm all fucking for it. But when you're screaming shithouse this across a fucking open playing field, it doesn't look good. Okay?
Just frustration. It was a frustrating game, it was a frustrating day. Like you said, it was sweltering hot down there, and I suppose tempers were high. We almost got embarrassed on the day, to be honest. So, yeah, it's probably just high tempers, really, and just, yeah, I'm not shy of saying a thing or two sometimes, so that's probably just what happened, really.
All right? I don't want this score to become embarrassing. All right? Yes, it's pre-season. Yes, they're short. Yes, they got 15 fucking subs, but I don't want it to become embarrassing. This is where experience, Billy, of leading us and being the captain now. It got nipped in the bud, sharpish, early, and that was a difficult day for us then. Obviously, we got taught a footballing lesson. We realised we weren't as good as we thought we were. Thoughts were in my head. Thoughts were in my head about some people, some players, the shape, different things. Just all things were triggering, and I wasn't happy. And when I'm not happy, I won't rest on my laurels and I won't sit and wait. And it'll be all right, it'll be all right. I don't, I react instantly. And I think that's what I've done there.
The manager would be true to his word. As Parkway returned to Plymouth, a big announcement would be made, as Hobbs would make the decision to part ways with one of the players who helped the club reach the Southern League, Rob Farkins.
He'd given me 3 years of giving me everything he had. Week in, week out, a real big hitter for me was Rob. And I was devastated. I'm not going to lie, you know I was, because I told you. Because Rob had worked so hard and had mirrored me and demanded everything as a captain on that football pitch alongside Shane Crack to get us to where we were just about to embark on. So to make a call like that, it wasn't easy because, as I just said to you, me and Rob were very close.
Rob's Rob, he's a character, he's a man's man, he wears his heart on his sleeve and he tells it as it is. And if players are not playing to what he thinks, he's not afraid to tell them. I thought at the end, some of his mistakes were being covered, some of them by various things, and maybe it's easy to point the blame, but on the whole, Rob Farkins was excellent for Plymouth Parkway. I thought he was one of the reasons we got promotions. He was a leader. when things were tough, he was there. So I've got no problem with Rob Farkins whatsoever. Obviously, the manager makes a decision. He felt it was right to move on, and we have to support the manager.
Pre-season would become a truly difficult time for the football club, as they would lose one of their own. Charlie Baggott, a founding member, would sadly pass away, leaving a big hole at the core of the club.
Legend of the club. Live for the club, love the club. And yeah, it was reciprocated by everyone around the club. They knew what a bloke he was. And you can see that in Jez, you're like father, like son sort of thing.
Charlie was one of the founders. That was what Charlie done, and obviously I only seen him towards his later days, but even when I first got here, he was always here, always around the clubhouse, always doing something, do you know what I mean? Always walking, checking his trees and stuff like that. So no, it was a very, very sad time for everyone involved in the football club.
Charlie was very much like, Jez is like his dad. Charlie was perfection, really. I mean, as I've said before, I forget where it was now, he could make a Rolls Royce out of a tin can. It was as simple as that. The words, "that'll do," never entered Charlie's brain at all, and he just worked continually. And towards the end, last few years when he was still working down here, I used to say to Jez, "We're going to stop in a minute, we'll have a break, Jez, we'll have to have a break." So he said, "Can you give me a break, Stu?" "Yeah, no problem," But he would still come down here and do stuff. Fantastic man, genuine man, lovely man.
When it was proposed to me, when we had the stand, and then it came where the committee felt it was going to be called after my dad, I was extremely grateful, humbled really. He did do hell of a lot for this club, he has. But yeah, to me it's something that will always be there. I've got friends who come now and they look up and they say, "Look, there's all," and this tear me eye at times, but yeah, fantastic.
It was so important that we, with the circumstances, that we made sure that happened. And I think the really great thing about that was that obviously we made the choice that we were going to call it the name, and we were able to make sure that the names were up by the time, literally the day before he had his funeral. So it was really nice to be able to do that for the family and the right thing for the football club to do.
Days after Charlie's passing, the club would host ground-sharing neighbours Truro City, and after an impeccable minute's silence, Lee Hobbs would look to find some sort of groove as pre-season continued.
Hey! Go! Come on, take it!
We just didn't look good. Don't know what it was, we just didn't look good. Maybe it was taking a while for the teams to, the lads to get together and gel as a team. New ways of playing, new systems, new coaches, new ideas. We just didn't look like a step 4 team, that's for sure. And I was a bit worried in pre-season.
I think it was always going to be a struggle at the start. Coming in to new team, new players, new management, new system to try and get used to. I think obviously I didn't have the best pre-season, like not scoring, I scored 1 goal.
I think a lot is down to the minutes in legs, but it's one of those things. Sometimes it works, sometimes it comes off, but for whatever reason it just wasn't at that stage of time.
Pre-seasons are what they are. They're not about results. They're about getting a team together, fitness, and developing a way you're going to play for the rest of the season. When the games start and if we've learnt from it, if we learnt lessons and we've changed and adapted, and then we go into the season we're fine, then I think that's what it is.
Parkway would suffer another pre-season defeat to their higher league tenants, and more bad news was to follow as Parkway captain Shane Crack would decide to hang up his boots at the start of the season, almost upon the Plymouth club.
Was it a difficult decision to make?
It was coming. It was coming. I had to do pre-season because I had that bad knee injury against Truro here. I didn't want that to think, oh, that finished you off. Obviously, where I'm a little bit of a fruit in my head, I needed to be the one that dictated the decision. So I've done pre-season and I'll come back. I've had 5 pre-season friendlies, was it? I just want the same player. I want the same. I want his sharp, I want his nasty, I want his aggressive, I want his mobile. And it didn't do it for me. And I didn't enjoy it. And I didn't enjoy myself. And I thought, I was a swear then. I thought, oh, I'm not going to be like this. And I didn't want to be like it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if Shane thinks it's the right thing for him to do, then I completely agree with him. To be honest, knowing Shane and knowing how good of a player he's been and how much of a servant he's been for various clubs over the years, if he thinks he can't do what he can to be Shane, then that's fair enough. I mean, he is a big loss for any football club, and he's been a brilliant player.
Shane loved the football club, you know, and he hung his boots up because he didn't want to continue to take from the football club when he knew that it was time, and that goes down so well with me. You know, Shane will wear his heart on his sleeve when he's on that football pitch, and even when he comes off that football pitch. He lives and breathes what he does on that football pitch.
Sometimes some players make their own decisions, Shane. Sometimes a manager will make decisions, Rob. So yeah, to lose those 2, I felt I was losing a bit of me. And because of the way they are, their style, their manner, the way they play.
It was looking a little bleak ahead of the new season, as one by one, the strong spine of the team over a number of years slowly disappeared.
No, I don't really worry because I know what Lee's like and I know how meticulous and detailed he is with, he's always got a plan B, a plan C and a plan D. He's probably the most well-prepared man in football in the sense that he's relentless in his knowledge and getting to know people and finding out who's available and who's not, but then he always just seems to find someone and they're usually better, and I don't know how he does it, to be honest.
Parkway would leave Plymouth for one final time of pre-season, as they travelled to another Southern Premier League side, Tiverton Town. The fixture would see Parkway include new summer signing Callum Rose, as Lee Hobbs began his rebuilding process at the wrong end of pre-season, after a turbulent 6 weeks.
So Lee comes up with his lists. You know, Lee is a nightmare, you know, for players, because if he wants you, he will not leave you alone. Which is what you want as a chairman of a football club. You want a manager that's going to be banging on people's doors, and when they don't answer, he'll be going around the back door and banging on the back door and making sure that he gets the person that he wants to get.
Knew he was a good player. Thought he was a good replacement for Farks in the sense that he was dominating in the air, quick, you know, can move. Yeah, I thought he was a good player, and I thought he would be ready for a step up, to be honest.
Lee's no mug. He doesn't need really. I think sometimes he needs a little bit of how can I put it? Reassurance, something like that. Am I doing the right thing? You know, and we've made mistakes. We have made mistakes, but we've also made a lot of bloody good decisions. You know.
Parkway would suffer another defeat. But it wasn't all doom and gloom, as the performance in parts was very much improved, with Southern League football just over the horizon.
been a long pre-season. How do you rate it overall?
Indifferent, disjointed in terms of availability and obviously the COVID and obviously games getting cancelled, etc, etc. But no, for us, as I say to everyone, I'd rather play hard games, and we've had a hard pre-season. Obviously we played Ivybridge where we hadn't played for months. We played Argyle, then we've played Truro, then we've played Tavistock with 6 players missing and no manager for COVID. Then we've gone to Mosul and we had 10 men for 70 minutes. So no, for me, sorry, not this including Bodmin there and Tivia, we're where we want to be. We've had our games, it's been tough. There's minutes in the bank, there's no injuries. Yes, we're shipping goals, but now we're starting to score goals. So if we can tighten up at the back, take our chances at the other end, I'm sure we'll be okay.
So Lee gave you the call, was your mind made up sort of straight away? Did you have to think about it?
I never thought I'd be at Parkway. There's always a team I used to love to play, not play for. And then when Lee gave me the call, and obviously he's top lad, so I went down there, met him. And I went from there, so I'm happy I'm signed though. It's like the best decision I made, I think.
Tiverton, arguably these are games Parkway want to be involved in. How do you feel the game went?
Yeah, it went well. The boys competed. It's pre-season. Mistakes going to be made. Like it's the best time to make them really. Like what we've done out here today, 5-3. It's not a bad result. We've got 3 goals away from home. We've all grafted. It's another 90 minutes in the legs. Like I think we're ready for the season to start now.
Parkway would leave Tiverton with the knowledge that their opening fixtures in the new league would be against title favourites AFC Totton and Frome Town. It was all beginning to feel very real. There would be one more pre-season signing to bed into the squad, as the experienced Cornish midfielder Matt Andrew would be brought in to replace the retiring Shane Crack.
Well, my first real impression of Matty was out at Tavistock in a pre-season friendly when he was playing for Tavistock. I think Lee was home with COVID and he was just texting to see how things going. And he said, keep an eye on Matt, see what he's about. So I just had a bit of a focus on him, and I was like, decent player. And he's one of those players that probably goes under the radar when he's playing against you, but when he's playing on your side, you think, yeah, he's a damn good player. So that was the first time I'd really taken any notice of Matt.
I didn't know of him. I don't know if I played against him before or not. I didn't know much about him, but it was a tough game, that game, I'll tell you that. Get running in behind, and I was trying to follow him, but I didn't. At half time, I come in like, who's that? Because you don't really take notice before the game. I was like, who's that? He's a good player. And obviously, a couple of weeks later or whatever, he come and signed for us, so happy days.
Matt Andrew, officially a Parkway player, how does that sound?
Oh, sounds brilliant, yeah. Never thought it would happen, to be honest, but I'm glad to be here now and ready for the season, yeah.
Was it difficult to make that decision?
No, not really, not in the end. When it come to it, when he told me what the club are doing and, showed me the ground, yeah, it was a no-brainer. Southern League football, the squad he's got, where they want to go, yeah, I was always going to say yes.
With a week off before the start of the Southern League season, Parkway would schedule a training match against lower league side Saltash Borough, as players and fans alike geared up for the big kick-off.
Just a new challenge, new grounds, new football teams to play against. And just putting ourselves up against another opposition of high standard and just proving to everyone once again that hopefully we can go on and prove that we're good enough to play at that standard, which we always thought we would. Within 5 years, we always said we wanted to be in Southern League football. So we obviously achieved that, and then we wanted to see where we went from there.
I feel like a lot of people are waiting to see how I can get on in this league, whether I'd adapt, whether it might be a step too big, if you like, simply because, we've, like you say, we've passed the test of Peninsula, passed the test of the Western League. Where's his limit? Where does he stop and then sort of plateau a little bit? But it helps drive me. I think that's important, that people are always watching, and when you're at a club like Parkway, there's always going to be fans, there's always going to be people talking about the club. So it's important that you always give your best and show that you do belong here and you can play at this level.
Just excited to be on the journey. I'm passionate about sort of coaching and development and trying to improve football teams, and just seeing where that journey can lead to. I think like the new level of opponent, if you will, operating at step 4, going to new grounds, pitching your wits against new opposition, new game plans, and just seeing how you'd fare against that. So yeah, just the excitement of new levels and new opposition really.
Moving up to that step 4 in the Southern League, going to different places was always a nice thing, because you go into the same places week in, week out, playing the same teams, seeing the same names on the team sheet, etc. So yeah, it's just a bit of variety, something new, something different.
Talking to members of the supporters club, as we do, we have a chat when we come to matches, and we were all saying we'll be happy if we just stay in the league. That's all we thought we were trying to achieve, because we hadn't seen the teams that we were playing at all. We weren't aware of their quality as a team, so therefore we thought they must be pretty good, and we'll be happy if we can stay in the league.
A difficult pre-season would end. The time for talking was over. Ready or not, the Southern League would be upon Parkway. Hampshire would be the first destination, and the Snow Stadium the first venue. Win or lose, history would be made for Parkway, as they made their debut at step 4 of the non-league pyramid.
What a way to start the Southern League, going into there against so-called big boys, if you like, that were one of the favourites for the title. Some big names in their team, and just to test ourselves in a new league, an unbelievable facility, in August, summer, hot day.
I think we were just eager to get underway. Like you said, we didn't have the best pre-season, so coming to the league games, we were sort of eager just to get pre-season out of the way and get the league started.
Bearing in mind, Tottenham was a fantastic ground, and don't get me wrong, I'm extremely proud of what we've got. But what they had that day, the facilities, the drug room, testing rooms, separate rooms of this, that, and everything else. They must have had about 3 or 4 different function rooms. A lovely balcony overlooking, and I thought, blimey, this is what we wanted to go up for, to play at these grounds.
As I just said to you in the first team talk, it's taken the football club 4 years to get here, okay? I don't want to be going back down that motorway with fucking people, not just with egg on her face, people saying, fuck me, knew the level was too big for them, fuck off. 5 hours on a bus, don't give a fuck. 25-minute warm up there, every been at it. Every looks hungry, everyone looks like they want it, okay? This is the level that we are now, alright? I don't care whether we're playing Tottenham or whether we're playing Barnstable, we give exactly the fucking same. We trust each other, we stay together, we fucking don't get too high after a win, we don't get too low after a loss, okay? We keep level-headed. We come in here at full time and we've done the business, we keep level-headed. We don't need to be singing it from the rooftops, we got 37 fucking games to go. So if you lose here today, it doesn't fucking matter either, it'll hurt. And I want it to hurt, but it doesn't fucking matter, because you'll always get another chance to put it right.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome today's teams, Plymouth Parkway in the stands, AFC Tottenham. Okay, let's have a look at Squeeze up! Go! Score for number 7, Jack Harry.
Two penalty decisions would be the difference on the day, as Parkway started their campaign with defeat against title challengers AFC Tottenham.
Yeah, we've gone there. First game of the season, lost, but what a game. You know, I didn't think we deserved to lose on the day. We've come away with it. I thought we could hold our heads really high, and it's, you know, it builds up for the rest of the season then.
3 days later, Parkway would return to Plymouth, but it would be a tough test with another title favourite from town making the midweek trip to Bolitho.
We've spent a number of years just strolling through games really, so you know this step up in class is kind of what we needed, and when we've played better sides, we've raised our game as well, so this is the level we should be playing at, and when we come up against these better sides, that's when we do better.
It's a big game. You're under no fucking pressure. The gate's filling up. Going to the wait, Matty, anything to add?
Let's start quickly. Start really fast. Wait, okay. I felt the start of that one was quite flat. Yeah. Okay, I felt it was quiet. Okay, so I'm now going to bring the energy in here. We have got to put it up 5 or 10%. We go out there. Okay, we've got to start quickly. If we get kick off, put it in the corner. We're going to start on the front foot. Let's catch them cold on that journey. Come on. go! Travel! Oh, quick! Big magic! Get it, Bobby! Go on! Left foot! Go on! Oh! No.
A goal in the 97th minute would earn Frome Town a point after an enthralling night of Southern League football at Bolitho. It would leave Parkway with 1 point from their opening 2 games.
I thought we deserved a point and they nicked it right at the end. It was gutting, it really was, because we did earn that point. We defended well, probably didn't play our best game, but we defended really well, and yeah, literally last kick of the game really hurt.
But getting the proper first goal, like I know I got one against Tiverton, but yeah, the first proper goal, competitive goal, first one of the season as well for the club. Yeah, it was a bit of anger, a bit of relief, and yeah, just emotions.
Given that we were told that the likes of Tottenham and Frome were likely to be title favourites, at the start of the season. All right, we'd taken 1 point from 6, but we were in 2 really close games, so we knew that actually we wouldn't be a million miles away in this league. If this is what the top teams are, if this is who they are, then we're not going to be too far away.
We found something, and I think that something was what then we can build on for the rest of the season, because we've got a mentality of, well, let's battle for each other.
You just took a point off one of the favourites. You just lost 1-0 to the team, to the joint favourites, if you like, and we took a point and lost 1-0. So we knew that we'd be all right, yeah? We'd be all right.
It would be a weekend off league action as the FA Cup preliminary stage began. For Parkway, it would be back to Cornwall to face a Mousel team who convincingly beat the Yellows 5 weeks earlier.
Yeah. Why have we got a yellow kit?
Sorry, mate.
Well done.
We always do for the FA Cup if we can get away with it. Have you got any long socks?
Well, as a kid, obviously the FA Cup was, from my era, it was the full day. It was everything from it's a knockout in the morning to I think it was Question of Sport, watching it and you're just building yourself up till 3 o'clock. And it was a fantastic day for everybody. The whole family watched it. The whole family watched it. So the FA Cup for me, it's always been magical and always will be magical. Suddenly, to find what Plymouth Little Old Parkway are playing in the FA Cup, is amazing. And you're always hoping and praying, can you ever get to that proper first round? You look at it, some teams do it, even this year there's been some big team or little teams who took some massive scopes in the FA Cup. But for us to get in it, yeah, fantastic, brilliant.
This year is a big, big game for us, a big game. And you need to make sure your mindset's right, you're treating fucking with the respect it is, and remember, it's the fucking FA Cup. We've got to win, okay? You've got to win. Don't sell yourselves fucking short. Mike! Dominic, be loud! He's missing you out because you're not... Mate, he's not coming with you! achieve anything, right, anything this season, Tuesday night, we've done the fucking shit. And I'll tell you why. Because we had something to hang on to. I'm going to fucking fast forward now. You're 2-1 up. You've got something to hang on to. Disgusting.
The FA Cup would see Parkway pick up their first win of the season, and after a turbulent pre-season on and off the pitch, they were officially up and running.